You might remember last week we talked about Alma and Amulek, but a few weeks before that, we learned about how King Mosiah asked all 4 of his sons to be king in Zarahemla, but all of them said no. They wanted to go and teach the Lamanites about God. King Mosiah loved his sons and worried that they would be killed if they went to teach the Lamanites. He prayed that God would protect them and keep them safe. God promised that he would, and all 4 of King Mosiah's sons left. Their names were Aaron, Ammon, Omner, and Himni. While they were out traveling, they happened to run into their longtime friend, Alma, who had also been teaching the people. In Alma chapter 17, verse 2, it says, "Now these sons of Mosiah were with Alma at the time the angel first appeared unto him. Therefore Alma did rejoice exceedingly to see his brethren, and what added more to his joy, that they were still his brethren in the Lord. Yea, and they had waxed strong in the knowledge of the truth, for they were men of a sound understanding, and they had searched the scriptures diligently, that they might know the word of God. They also prayed and fasted to have the Spirit with them, to know what to do and who to teach. They would become instruments in the hands of God." Or in other words, God would use them to help others know the truth and accomplish what God wanted. When they saw Alma, they had been teaching for 14 years, and they had taught many Lamanites, and a lot of the people believed what they taught. When the sons of Mosiah first started teaching, they all went different ways so they could teach many people in different parts of the land. One of King Mosiah's sons, Ammon, felt he needed to go and teach in the land of Ishmael. When he first got to the land, he was tied up and taken before the king. The king's name was King Lamoni, and he asked Ammon if he wanted to stay in the land of Ishmael. Ammon told the king that he did. He would like to live there for a little while, or maybe even the rest of his life. The king liked what Ammon had said and asked Ammon if he wanted to get married to one of the king's daughters. Ammon said, "No, thank you, but I would like to be your servant." King Lamoni told Ammon that he could help take care of his flock of sheep. Ammon was happy to serve the king and went out with the other servants to take the sheep to get water. When they went to the place with all the water for the sheep, they met a number of men who were not nice. The men often stood around the water and would try to scare the sheep into running away. This is what happened when Ammon and the servants got there. All the sheep went running all over the place, and the servants began to cry. They cried because the king had killed the servants that had lost his sheep before. In Alma chapter 17, verse 29, it says, "Now they wept because of the fear of being slain. Now when Ammon saw this, his heart was swollen within him with joy. For he said, I will show forth my power unto these my fellow servants, for the power which is in me, in restoring these flocks unto the king, that I may win the hearts of these my fellow servants, that I may lead them to believe in my words." Ammon talked with the other servants, and they hurried to gather all of the sheep, which I'm guessing wasn't an easy job. And when they had gathered them back together, they tried to take them to get a drink at the water one more time, but those men were still there. Ammon told the servants to make a circle around the sheep, and he would take care of the men that were bothering them. When the men saw Ammon come forward to stop them, they laughed, because he was just one man, and they had lots of men with them. In Alma chapter 17, verse 35, it says, "Therefore they did not fear Ammon, for they supposed that one of their men could slay him according to their pleasure, for they knew not that the Lord had promised Mosiah that he would deliver his son out of their hands. Neither did they know anything concerning the Lord. Therefore they delighted in the destruction of their brethren, and for this cause they stood to scatter the flocks of the king. Ammon used his sling and some stones, and he killed 6 of the men. The others were not happy when they saw that, and they tried to kill Ammon with clubs. Anyone who tried to hit Ammon with a club, Ammon cut their arm off, and there were many who tried to hit Ammon. Any of the men who were left quickly ran away. Ammon and the servants were able to give the sheep water and take them back to King Lamoni. The other servants went into the king to tell him everything that happened. The king was amazed, and then began to be scared. He worried that Ammon was not really a man, but a great spirit that had come because of the wicked things King Lamoni had done. Ammon went in unto the king and knew that he had heard the stories of what had happened with the sheep. Then he told the king in Alma chapter 18, verse 17, I say unto you, what is it that thy marvelings are so great? Behold, I am a man, and I am thy servant. Therefore, whatsoever thou desirest, which is right, that will I do. The king asked Ammon how he knew the thoughts of his heart, and that opened the opportunity for Ammon to teach the king about God and his teachings. The king and his family eventually all believed the teachings of Ammon. King Lamoni's father was also taught by Ammon's brother Aaron. So what can we learn from this story? Ammon loved God and wanted others to feel that love as well. He knew that others would feel that same love if he served them and loved them as Jesus Christ would. He prayed to know how to help others and was given opportunities to show that love. We can also help others come into Christ by showing our love for them.